So when you don't feel inspired, when you feel like you've got creative block, how do you get past that? Where do the ideas come from? So I want to just talk about how to maybe kickstart what I call the creative cycle. Okay, so they can come from your experience. What I like to do is just sit down in a really comfortable chair, like an armchair, something really comfortable. Get my journal, sketch pad, scraps of paper, bus tickets, whatever, and just scribble on them, scribble ideas. If I don't have ideas, I just kind of daydream, or I just think about my experiences. I had plenty of experiences. The older you get, the more experience you have. You can just literally draw upon that. You can take those images and make something of that. Okay, research. So if you are drawing stuff out of your head, if you want to make it look any way realistic, you're going to have to do some research. Likewise, apart from this, you can go with fantasy. You can fantasize things out of your head while you're sitting comfortably in an armchair. You can make up complete storylines, tell stories. It's kind of like, it's watching TV when TV's not there, because you are the story, and you put it down in stick figures. Just draw stick figures. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just get the idea down. Stick figure with a note or a really rough sketch that only you understand. That's fine. Get the idea down. It's a start. Then you research. If your experience has to do with people, you're going to have to research some human anatomy. And lucky for you, on this channel I have got a stack of videos on human anatomy where I have taught in class how to draw a human figure. But you want to do some more research on that. When you do your research, and you are probably scribbling stuff in your journal, that means that other ideas may spark as you do the research. If I was to, I tend to do wildlife, some things like Tasmanian tiger doesn't exist anymore, I would probably go to a museum, maybe talk to somebody there. I would get all the books and images I can, and I would jumble those around and come up with ideas. Now the other place ideas come from is the mad scientist part, and this is going to be fun, and it's techniques. If you were to throw down some paint and makes a splat, and that splat looks like something, you can work with that. Jackson Pollock, the techniques is where the ideas came from. When you're in printmaking, you play with stuff and techniques happen, and the technique gets there and you think, wow, that kind of worked good, and it kind of looks like this, and maybe if I did this technique a lot, I can use this technique to make this sort of image. All of these are ways of kickstarting what I call the creative cycle. Go from there, you go from transferring your image onto something. When you start a painting, when you start a print, you're all excited and hyped up and you feel inspired. So the word inspiration, what does it really mean? It probably means that you are excited to do something and then you're not. And when you're not is when you probably do something with an incredible amount of detail that's going to take up stacks of time. You have your journal next to you, you think, oh, that's a good idea. Why you do? Because you're bored and your mind just wanders, and oh, that's a good idea, and you just write a little note. So when you get back down in your armchair, you can get back into thinking up more ideas, then the cycle starts. So if you can work out your idea, you're ready to start the creative cycle. Just check out the other video I made about the creative cycle, and if you're not feeling creative, it's a way of kickstarting and getting going. If you have just not done art for a while and you want to get back into it and you just feel like you don't feel inspired, excited, I would probably replace that word inspired by, you don't feel excited about it. You've got to get yourself excited about it. It has to be this burning desire that you've got to do this, and then it just propels itself. So check out my other video on the creative cycle, and that's where the ideas start. See you next video.